Now that you've named all the joints in the bunny, click the parts that you want to copy over. You can do that by going to Skeleton, Mirror Joints, and hitting this box. What you want to do is cross it on the YZ. You want to mirror the behavior. You want to search for L and replace with R, and then you apply. And then they should copy over to the other side. You do this for each time you have a part you want to copy over. So we have our arm. We do that once again, search for L, replace with R, mirror. Should have hit reply, but I can always open it again. Not a big deal if I hit the wrong thing. I hit box again. Go ahead and hit mirror. And now, whenever I look at this rabbit, it'll say R hip, R arm. And you might be like, well, why do I need that? It's going to help you immensely when you start doing weight painting in this model. So from here, we would select all of the bones. Remember, you can drag select and it will select all of the bones. And then you want to shift click the bunny. I always, at this point, do a save as, where I do a save scene as, and I'm going to say bunny model skin 1. And that's because sometimes you can mess up the bones. You can do your weight painting incorrectly, and you'll want to come back to this step. If you haven't done iterative saves, then you have to redo the whole project, and that could be a huge pain. So every time you get to a new step, modeling, doing the UVs, doing any of your rigging, go ahead and just do a save. And we can go to skin, bind skin, and now this bone should bind to our rabbit. You'll see that it has an arrow. And now if I wanted, I could even click an object here, put my 6 back on to see shaded, and move it around to test out how the animation goes. You're like, its face just fell off. Yes, it did. We'll show you how to fix that in a minute. We can see, okay, what moves well. Okay, I might need to adjust this a little because he's getting kind of that tummy fold over. Normally the arms and the legs are the parts that tend to be the kind of craziest. Oh, good. Sometimes if we put these too close, when we move one, it will move another. So let's see, here we go. And it looks like everything's moving fairly independently, so this should be a pretty easy model to adjust in weight painting. These objects we modeled separately moved. So we want to select these. Let's do this. Name it I. This is the right eye. R-I. It's left eye. I just double click on them to rename. Double click again, nose. And I can open up this whole joint chain. And this is why it's pretty handy, as I know that my spine 3, if I keep going, I'm going to get to the clavicle, I'm going to get to my shoulders, my hip, and I'm going to unlock, kind of keep going with these chains, the neck base, my neck top, until I get to the head. And I want these objects, these nose, eyes, to go to the head. So instead of having to say, okay, was the head joint 7 or joint 8 or joint 10, I can go ahead, find my head, hold my middle mouse button down. I click down, drag these 3 to the head, and now they're actually parented to the head. So hopefully now when I move this, that looks kind of creepy, but yep, they move with the head because they're connected. And that's one of those really important things about that head node, is this is where you would connect things like your hat or your hair or such like that. Does that mean that you could go ahead and connect something the character was carrying to their hand bone? Yes, in fact, that's what you do for animation. After this is where we start weight painting, which adjusts those fine moments of how it moves, and we'll start that next lesson.